Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about the worst movies of 2019. I know we're further into January, but I think it's still a good time to talk about the worst movies of last year. There's plenty of good ones, but there was a lot of turds. So I didn't get to see all of the turds, but I saw a few of them. There might be some on this list that you've never heard of. That's okay, I'll talk to you guys about them. There's one movie that I've seen in a lot of people's lists, and I didn't think it was that bad. If anything, I would put it as an honorable mention. And that movie is The Fanatic, with John Travolta. Everyone has said this movie is like The Room, that it's like one of the worst movies ever, and it's not. I thought it was just very mediocre. I had fun with it, even though a lot of it is kind of mean-spirited, but I didn't think it was one of the worst movies ever. I thought it was just fine. I enjoyed it for what it was. But let's go into the list. At number 10, I have a movie that went direct to VOD, and it's a movie with Steven Seagal. There's no surprise there. Any movie with Steven Seagal nowadays goes direct to VOD. And that movie's called Beyond the Law. I was actually kind of excited about it, only because DMX and Steven Seagal were back together. And I really liked them two together in the movie Exit Wounds, which came out almost 20 years ago. But this movie's awful. Really, really bad. The main reason why it's terrible is because Seagal's barely in the movie. It doesn't make any sense at all. I tried my best to pay attention to it, and quite honestly, I don't know what it's about. I do not recommend it. Do not watch it. That's as much as I can say about this movie. Number 9, we have Killer Man. This is a movie that came out also direct to VOD, and I saw this movie only because it has Liam Hemsworth. And I saw that the movie was in Redbox, and I was like, you know what, let me rent it and see how it is. This movie was awful. The whole story is basically that Liam Hemsworth plays a guy who works in the jewelry, and he does a lot of stealing and with a group of friends, and there's a bust that goes wrong, and he loses his memory. And throughout the movie, he's trying to recover his memory, and it's just very, very boring. And it's also very boringly shot. There's not ever a scene that stands out in this movie. And I tried so hard to pay attention to it, and I just could not get into it. There's a reason why this movie went direct to VOD, direct to rentals, because it was not good. And it's a shame, because I do think Liam Hemsworth is a good actor. They should give him better roles, not this kind of crap. Number 8 is a movie that went to Netflix, and I saw the trailer for it, and I was actually pretty excited for it when I saw the trailer. And, once I saw the movie, a friend of mine told me, Sebastian, don't watch it, it's awful. But at the same time, watch a little bit of it so you can see how bad it is, but don't watch the whole thing. And I actually did end up watching the whole thing, and that movie's polar. This movie blows so much. It's like trying to be a little bit like Smoking Aces, and also trying to copy the vibe of John Wick with this guy who's has a dark past. He doesn't talk much, and he befriends this character played by Vanessa Hudgens, and there's this twist, and it's so excessively gory. And I don't have no problem with gore. I like gory movies, but it doesn't work in this movie. It's so over-stylized to the point that there's scenes where the movie tries to be serious and other scenes where it fails miserably. Do not recommend it. One of the worst movies of 2019. Number 7, Men in Black International. This was awful. I saw the trailer and it looked bad. My first reaction was, this movie's going to end up in the $5 bin as soon as it hits DVD. It's going to be in the $5 bin. I rented it and I said, you know what, let me give it a shot. Maybe it's not going to be that bad. Is just as bad or worse than what I originally thought it was going to be. The acting is bland. There's even an inside joke to the movie Thor, because Chris Hemsworth plays Thor, and here he's playing an agent for the MIB. There's like an inside joke. It doesn't work. It's in the trailer, actually. But the whole movie, without spoiling if you want to watch it, the main character, played by Vanessa Thompson, I believe is her name, she plays a new agent, and the way she gets recruited, it's so awful. Like, she actually doesn't do any type of recruitment. She just walks in and becomes a new agent very, very easily. I felt no connection, and it also feels like stuff was removed. Like a lot of stuff was removed because things just jump really, really quickly from one scene to another with no cohesion. And on top of that, the main villain, once you figure out who the villain is, it was just so dumb. Number 6, Jacob's Ladder. The original movie is a masterpiece. If you haven't seen it, do watch it. It's really, really good. This one, however, is terrible. What they did to this remake, I commend them only for trying to do something different, but at the same time, it does not work. The type of twist that they add to the storyline left me kind of like, why? Why do that? And scenes in the movie flow very, very awkwardly. Never was I actually interested in what was happening to the characters. I wanted to, but it never happened for me. I don't recommend it. There's not much to say about this movie other than the fact that it was boring. I saw from a mile away what the twist was, not only because I've seen the original, but because they are trying to do something different with it, but it's just not enough for it to be its own thing. Number 5, Serenity. So Serenity, I saw the trailer for this movie. I don't remember what movie I was watching in the movie theater, but when the trailer played, I was like, this looks interesting. I have no clue what it's about. I wonder what this movie is going to offer. So the movie comes out, and I love Matthew McConaughey's movies. And the first 30, 40 minutes of the movie, I was actually kind of interested. Because it plays kind of like a mystery film. And you don't really know who's who and what they're all about. Even though there's some awkward angles throughout the film. But once you figure out what the twist is, I was like, no way. No way. This is like a waste of my time. And I saw the twist coming. Like the twist is typically in your movies you'll be given clues as to when the twist is going to happen. It's usually towards the end of the film that it gets revealed. But this movie does the twist kind of like halfway. And I kind of saw it coming, but at the same time was like, I hope it's not that. And then it is. I was like, oh, why? I'm not going to tell you the twist. If you want to watch it or you want to Google what the ending is, go for it. But it destroys the entire film. And it's like, why did I even watch this movie? Why did I waste my time? So, I do not recommend it. Number 4, Alita. Alita Battle Angel. I know some people like this movie, and that's fine. I saw it in theaters, and I thought it was an unintentional comedy. I was laughing my ass off in a lot of stuff. I know this is based on a popular anime. I've seen the OVA, and I thought the original anime was fine, but the actual movie, I just could not grasp what they were trying to do with this. And sometimes it's trying to be like an anime, and other times it's really being like a Robert Rodriguez movie. But there's so many things that happen in this movie that I just didn't care for. Particularly, I thought that this actor, I forgot his name, Christoph Waltz, I thought he was just underused. Like, you can tell he was phoning it in, and he's a great actor. Especially when you watch him in Tarantino movies. It just goes to show you that it's not really the actor, it's also the director who's directing the actor to bring out that performance. Because Christoph Waltz has been in a lot of bad movies too. Like Spectre. Spectre's a terrible movie. And they also underutilize him there. And in this movie, he's in it for the most part, but he's just not interesting. And I don't blame him, I blame the writing. Same thing with, the CGI for this movie is actually really good. I'll give it that. The CGI is excellent. But the storyline, I just didn't care for it. And there's a scene at the end, this is not a spoiler or anything, where she cries. I won't say why she cries, but she cries and she grabs her sword and she cuts the tear in half. I was laughing my ass off because I thought it was just so over the top. And like, what was the purpose of that? Anyway, if you liked it, it's fine, but I thought it was trash. Number 3. This is another movie that I thought was god-awful. And I don't know how this movie made over $1 billion. And that movie is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, I saw this in theaters, and this is actually, to me, the worst movie in the Marvel cinematic universe. I thought this movie was incredibly boring. And before anyone says I'm being sexist or anything like that, because I remember there's a lot of like controversy with this movie because of Brie Larson and all that other stuff. I have nothing against Brie Larson. I think she's a good actress. She was really good in the movie called The Room. Room, not The Room. The Room is with Tommy Wiseau. Just Room. That was actually good. But this movie, like, it was just incredibly boring. Her character has no vulnerability, zero vulnerability. She can do everything and anything. And I would have had that problem also if it was a guy. Like, it's kind of this problem I have with Superman. But at least with Superman, the actors who've played the character, depends, have created certain vulnerabilities. Like Christopher Reeve, did an amazing job with the character. But anyway, Captain Marvel, like, there was nothing interesting to me about it. The only thing I would give it was the good CGI they did with making Samuel Jackson younger. I thought they did a good job with that. But outside of that, I just did not care for it. Yeah, this to me is the worst movie in the MCU. Number 2 is also a Netflix movie, and I saw this one really like the first day it came out because I actually brought back my Netflix account just to watch this movie because I don't use Netflix that often. I only pay for it when I know I'm going to watch something. But I wanted to watch it so bad that I'm like, okay, I want to bring back Netflix. The movie is Velvet Buzzsaw. The director of this movie has done other movies that I actually like. One in particular I really, really like, and that movie is Nightcrawler. He did another movie called Roman J. Israel Esquire, which I still haven't seen yet. But I saw the trailer for Velvet Buzzsaw, and I was like, okay, it's the same director from Nightcrawler. It's actually almost the same cast. You have Rene Russo, Jake Gyllenhaal, and then you actually watch the movie, and there is no plot. There really is no plot. It's just a bunch of random things that happen. There's like this painting that are killing people, and these rich people who just talk about nonsense, and you can't wait for all these characters to just die, honestly, because it doesn't really... You're rooting for the bad guy, which the bad guy is the paintings that are killing people. And for actually a large portion of the movie, like actually the first 20-30 minutes, nothing's really happening. You got introduced to this paintings that are killing people way later. And the motivations doesn't make sense. I just thought it was really, really terrible. One of the worst movies I saw this year. And I think it took me 2 or 3 nights to finish it. Good thing this wasn't a movie that went to theaters. I really think Nightcrawler was his one hit wonder. Like, it was not... it doesn't make sense. I'll have to watch Roman J. Israel Esquire, but I've heard that one's also not very good. But what is my number 1 worst movie? This one I thought was not just terrible, but it was also an insult to the memory of a particular actress. And that movie is The Haunting of Sharon Tate. Wow. This was beyond bad. If you want to see my whole critique on this movie, go to the Dumbed Down channel, descriptions down below. I talk about the movie in its entirety. I thought it was horrendous. Horrendous. A waste of time. And the actress who plays Sharon Tate, Hilary Duff, I don't know what it is, but they really miscasted her. She was good playing Lizzie McGuire, but she's terrible, terrible playing Sharon Tate. And I never once felt I was in the era of the 60s. I always was reminded for some reason, I don't know what it was the lighting or the makeup, that I was in 2019. And the way they actually show the murders and the twist that they do is beyond, like, I can't even describe it. It leaves me speechless. Because this guy who directed the movie has directed documentaries that were actually really good. And I don't know what happened here. So it blows my mind. So these are the 10 worst movies. I know there's other movies that came out in theaters, but I don't go to the theaters that often. I wish I could. And movie theaters are getting expensive. I know there's like these things called, well, there was Movie Pass, and that went to the shitter. But there's like AMC All Access, but it's also trying to find time. Trying to find time to actually go to the movies. So, and I have so many movies behind me that I haven't seen, so I should take time to watch these first before watching other movies. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling. Let me give my goodbyes for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's another whoa, what did I do there? If there's another terrible movie that I did not mention that you would want me to watch or want me to review, just let me know on the comment section down below. And now we're going to go into the special giveaway. So with that, I'll say goodbye. Stay tuned, because in the next couple of seconds, we're going to be mentioning who is the winner. So the time has finally come to announce the winner of the 50 movie pack from Mill Creek, the movie Midnight Madness, the digital code. So if you're not familiar, what happened was last week on Wednesday, I announced that I would be giving out a digital code for 50 movies. What you had to do was subscribe to the Dumbed Down channel, send us a message saying that you were interested in the movie pack, and you'd be part of the game. So in this box, I have all the names of the people who sent us a message and who subscribed. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So here are the names, and the way it works, I'm going to move this box around with all the names inside, and I'm not going to look. I'm going to pick a random name. Whichever name I pick, that will be the winner of the 50 movies. So are you guys ready? I'm a little nervous. So here we go. I'm going to shake this really well. Shake, 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 senora. Shake it all the time. Alright. I'm not going to sing the whole song, because if not, it's going to be like a copyright strike. So here we go. And I'm going to pick up the first one. Here we go. I have a name here. Let's see what we have here. Are you guys ready? I know I am. And the winner is 11G Wiz. 11G Wiz, thank you for playing. You are the winner of the digital code for the 50 movie pack. Check your inbox soon, because you're going to be getting the code to all those 50 movies. Guys, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be other times for you guys to win. I'm going to be giving out other codes in the future for other movies, and it's going to be very similar. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and send us a message. I'll be letting you guys know how it will work in other future videos. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video, and once again, until next time, bye.